Oh, this is a boring game. Today I will be installing a funny playing Game Boy DMG IPS LCD kit thing. So it's the full beautiful brand new LCD display with lots of colors and backlight and all the fun stuff. And I bought this kit recently to put into obviously this Game Boy that hasn't got a screen in it. I had this one ages ago. The screen was completely shot, completely burnt out, so I just removed the screen, but I did test with another one and this mainboard does actually work, so it's all nice and healthy and prime for such a kit. There's a ribbon cable. We have a new, feels like a glass front, and that is useful because this screen makes it a little bit bigger, and you can see that it's just a touch wider there than the stock screen, so that's good. There is our LCD. Yeah, that looks nice. And then we have the replacement screen mainboard. So this, we'll dive into it in a minute, but the original Game Boy, there's actually two PCBs that are held together with a ribbon. One on the back has the cartridge slot and the CPU and all that junk, and the one on the front is the one that actually drives the LCD and has the buttons. It's kind of sitting there. So in order to connect a new LCD, we have a new PCB, new LED that'll go there. I think there was a light pipe I saw. Yep, there it is. Little tiny hole light pipe thingy. And yeah, new button pads for all the buttons and the speaker. So I'm gonna have to disconnect the speaker and connect it to here. And then that looks like a mounting bracket. Oh yeah, and you can see it says funny playing. Yeah, brand name. Well, let's dive into this. Being early Nintendo, these are in fact tri-wing. So I've got my tri-wing bit here. Really annoying security bit that Nintendo used before they switched to Torx or whatever they use now. I don't know. Yeah, that one's missing. So, all right. So now, as we pull apart, you will see the two PCBs that I talked about. And there we go. So what we can do is pull that ribbon down from the front board and get our two halves. So this is the CPU, cartridge slot, batteries, the headphone jack, all that stuff. That I don't need anymore. This is the one that we're going to be focusing on and replacing. So first of all, let's get this board out of there. And you can actually see it had some corrosion damage in the past that I've cleaned up, and yeah, no longer important. We are held on with a bunch of screws, so let's take all those out. And then the board should just lift on out. There we go. And nice. So that's the original, yeah, well that's where the original screen obviously went. And we still have the original button rubber thingies. There's the speaker with a little bit of gunk in it. Maybe I'll replace that. Yeah, we'll see. But we shouldn't really need much of this anymore. What I will do though is just quickly rip this speaker out because we are apparently going to need to use that again. I just worked out where that other screw went. The tri-wing from the outside, it was stuck to the back of the speaker this entire time. There you go. So I must have done that when I first pulled it apart. Yeah, so that speaker, you can see it's had a bit of moisture ingress or something. I'd be curious to see if this sounds crummy. Yeah, we'll see. Now, let's take these things out, these buttons, because I'm going to want to give this a bit of a clean while it's apart, but also I need to first of all take this screen off, that plastic, because we're not going to need that anymore. And I'm also going to have to modify this case because I am keeping the original case and I'm not switching over to one of the shells that Funny Playing specifically can provide for this kit to fit the screen. I do need to modify this slightly by just trimming around here a bit. You only need to take about 3 or 4 mils off. It's easy if you actually have a look. You can see there's already a lip kind of all the way around. Basically just take that off. Yeah, that's all you really need to do. So I'm going to do that. Watch me do that. If you haven't figured it out, what I'm doing is I've scored gently a line, and then I'm just little by little cutting in deeper and deeper until it goes through the plastic. Eventually you just go straight through. And then what I'll do is I'll just put the blade straight in like that and clean it up. Obviously keeping your fingers out of the way. And there's the bit that we remove. And then from the front, what I'll do is I'll just, I mean, a lot of this is hidden once you put the new thing in, but I'll just tidy up those kind of rough edges. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just check that kind of against the new screen here. So it should be just on the outside of that line. And it looks pretty good. Maybe a touch too wide, but that's fine by me. If I wanted it perfect, I would have just ordered the pre-cut case. This is good enough for a home job with a knife in 10 minutes, you know? Don't always need to chase perfection, he says as he continues whittling. Now, the second thing that you need to do is these two little posts right there, they need to go. So let's grab, I'm just going to use some flush cutters. And you should just be able to nip those away like that. Pretty simple. All right. Then what we're supposed to do, well, technically what I was supposed to do was test this all as well before, you know, doing the full install. So what I'll do is I'm just going to give this a try. So the ribbon cable does not, I believe it goes in that way. I don't think it matters whether it goes up or down, because there are connections on both sides. But it does need to go like that, fold over like that. So once the ribbon's in, it'll fold up, and that will go in like there. And you can fold it in that way, or yeah. So I'll just pop that in like so. So the screen goes in this way, and there is a little locking bar that you need to pull out, and then the screen will go in the connections at the top. This does seem that it's the wrong way, but it is alright. And then you press the locking bars in to lock that cable, that ribbon in, and then that folds down and over like so. Alright, let's get a little bit of power in this and give this a test just to make sure that the screen is actually functional. Alright, I don't seem to have any batteries handy, but I do have a desktop house display here, so just plug that in and let's flick it on and see what we get. Oh yeah, look at that. And obviously no ding because I haven't wired the speaker in yet. But yeah, no, there's our game. Oh, that screen looks so good. All right, cool. That worked great. Now, I don't know what this little dangly bit there is. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's not listed in the instructions at all. Looks like it's got some tape adhesive on the back, but it doesn't. Maybe that connects to the top for a capacitive touch. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Let's remove this just now and get the screen actually connected or mounted up in the case here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to not use the, so this is a new bit of adhesive that's supposed to go around like that, and it really sticks the screen down. I don't want to do that. What I want to do instead is use the new mounting bracket thingy, and that should hold the screen in place. It's got a little cutout for here, so I think it goes this way. And the ribbon will go like so. So that will go in the little holder really nicely. It clips in really well. And then this will go down So I'll have to I'll do this for now without removing the protective film. It goes down over these posts. Now unfortunately these posts have had the screws pushed in a bit too much, so I may need to, yeah, press it down pretty firmly over those two posts. But then that should, yeah, look at that, holds it in absolutely brilliantly. We have a look with the old glass like that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah. And that is held on quite nicely. All right, and yeah, I think, like I said, I think that can go up in there. Let's get the speaker soldered in. So now which way does this go? So the speaker will want to face like that. So I think if we put the connections in on this side, and we can just wire them up like that and solder them in really quickly. All right, now let's get to attaching. So, oh, actually, no. Before we go that far, let's give these just a quick wipe down. You know what, I might actually just replace them. This big old tub of replacement parts. These are my DMG ones. No, these are my DMG ones, yeah. So look at that, flashing straight out of China. Amazing. Let's grab one that's actually good. New start select and new D-pad. I think I may also need to replace these connections as well because they are really corroded. So when I do get batteries, I'll just pop some new ones in as well. Okay, so we had button, and new. We had the new, so that's the old, no, that's the old, that's the new. So it's a much nicer grey. That goes in that way. And then we had the D-pad, just there, and the new pads for that. Great. And then we can pop our screen down. This isn't final, again, because I haven't pulled that screen protector off. And then lock the bars down, and that should slot right into place. Cool, look at that. It's golden. Let's pop the game on. Speaker in the right spot. And there's our unit. Let's get a spot of power and double check. That looks pretty good. A little bit over there. Oh, no speaker. Oh, that's interesting. No speaker at all. So I think I didn't. Maybe I will replace that speaker. But our buttons appear to be working. And look at how good that screen looks. We've got our brightness. Kind of cool. All right, so we're going to need to figure out that speaker. As that didn't work, I'm just going to desolder the speaker and just pop a new one in. I'll also want to remove that entirely because now that I'm happy with that positioning, I need to take this back out and remove that protective coating, protective screen layer for its final installation. Okay, buttons back in the right spot, screen ribbon. Then put our mainboard back on. Oh wait, let's replace those spring terminals, shall we? So they should just pull back out, pull out. I believe they have a little locking tab on the inside. There we go. That one's out, yeah, and you can see they're pretty rotten. I could clean these up really quickly. Yeah, let's try that rather than replacing them. Replacements are always kind of crappy. There's 2. And there's 3. Alright. Let's give that a quick clean. So, over that is a little tub, like so. And some vinegar. Where's my vinegar? A little bottle of vinegar. This is just white cleaning vinegar. Cleaning vinegar is better than cooking vinegar because it's a slightly higher concentration, but they're effectively the same thing. It's just, yeah, like I said, one's stronger than the other. And just, yeah. That will neutralize the blue corrosion-y stuff from the batteries that leaked in here. There are some alkaline batteries. That'll dissolve off into the vinegar and, yeah, get those terminals looking nice and clean again. These were actually pretty good at already, so really didn't need much. Yeah, you can see they're already looking so much nicer. This one has just a little bit on the back side, so I might just give it a help with some mechanical intervention. Make sure the springs get fully coated as well. Alright, now I'm just going to go give these a rinse in some clean water. Alrighty, fresh from being washed. Still a bit wet, so I'll dry them off really quickly. Yeah, much nicer, really shiny. Should give us some good contact. Okay, let's pop these back in. Now, which way did they go? That way. And that way. And that way. Cool, now let's get the rest back in. Alright, I can fold over, like so. There we go. And I just remembered I forgot about the light pipe for the LED. We'll see about that later. But now let's see if the speaker's working. I heard a pop at least. Bingo. That's pretty good. Yeah, very nice. Awesome. You can see a little flake of the plastic. There we go. And as you can see, the new screen hides the bad cut that I did. So that's why I wasn't too fussed about it. How good does that look? That looks so good. Well, yes, I am a Pokemon master. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that, so I just got to pull this back apart and put all the screws back in, and then button it back up. Okay. Let's see if she'll run off batteries now as well. I don't know if actually even know if these batteries are charged. Got a mix and match here of what are they? They're oh, Eneloops, yeah, and these are IKEA batteries. Will she work? No, she won't. So those batteries are probably dead. They've been floating around my desk for a while. Ah well. Let's just run it from the power. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay, I want to play some Pokemon. You guys can go now. Thanks for watching.